Welcome to 630 Naperville. I'm Paige Ronchetti.
And I'm Nathan Ronchetti. We're so glad you could join us.
We've got a fantastic lineup for you today. We head around downtown to Le Chocolat du Bouchard, take a walk through Naperville's haunted history, learn more about a local family's bar mitzvah experience, and Chris Grano explores another Naperville restaurant.
There are so many businesses you know and love in downtown Naperville. Today we're here to take you to one of the most amazing spots in our entire downtown. Welcome to Le Chocolat du Bouchard and Bistro du Bouchard. Come on. Kathy Bouchard, here we are in the magnificent Le Chocolat du Bouchard.
Thank you.
Tell us how it all began.
My love of chocolate. I was a chocolate chocoholic, let's say, for my whole life.
Me too.
Like everybody, you know, like most of America. I love chocolate. And then I discovered about chocolate being healthy. I'm the one that brought that to America in about 2004. My story went national about how I cured myself from fibromyalgia and a host of other ailments that I had that were debilitating me after 9 years. So my love of chocolate grew into discovering cacao and the health properties of cacao, which was unheard of back then.
Right.
I really want the best of the best to be here in Naperville.
So it all began 17 years ago. You've been in Naperville?
Yeah, we opened the first location next door,
Okay.
the bistro.
Le Chocolat du Bouchard.
That was Le Chocolat du Bouchard, and that was in 2007 we opened that store.
Okay.
A few years later, in 2012, this space came available that we're sitting in right now, and I had a vision for doing more of a French type of patisserie. Even though I had never been to France, I wanted, you know, the chandeliers were big back then and everything. I mean, there still are now, but I just wanted to, I looked at some few pictures of places that were in Europe, and I'm like, oh, I want to build my store like that. So as a designer and an artist, I just started, you know, building it and worked with the contractor, and every day we would come in and I'd have my blueprints and sketches, and we would just build every day until we were done. And then people would pour in once we had our grand opening and people started coming. They were like, this is so Paris. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go someday. And they're like, you've never been to Paris? I'm like, no, I've never been to Europe. And they're like, but how did you design all this? And I'm like, I don't know, I just designed it. So then a year later, I was able to go to Paris, and have been a couple times now since, and go to Europe and Brussels and Germany and see all the beautiful chocolate shops and patisseries that they have out there. And I'm like, oh yeah,
I did good. Yeah.
I did good. So when you hear it enough times, it makes you feel good about what you put out there. That I nailed it. And then we try to get some good French-inspired pastry chefs that do all of our bakery, because I also own a bakery in town. A lot of people don't know this, but they think we just do the patisserie things, but they don't realize that we do cakes, and I've been doing cakes for probably 35 years of my life. Because I used to have a bridal company years ago, so that was another business that I had for 16 years. So I specialized in sweet tables and wedding cakes and designing wedding cakes. And so my bakery, we've got 7 bakers, and they kick out all the beautiful stuff that we offer every day, and authentic French macaroons and some French-inspired patisserie types of items. Like I said, we make a lot of our chocolate we make here, but I also specialize in bringing in chocolates from all over the world. And about every 3 months, I have an imported shipment come in from Belgium. And then we box that up. So the good stuff.
I'll take one of everything.
Yes.
So when people come here, they can get chocolate drinks, they can get a menu of great items at your bistro. Tell us more what they can expect when they come in. What can they eat and drink when they come to
Well,
the
in the
Chocolat?
bistro, they can certainly look in the case and see something that they like that might not be on the menu. And they go, oh, I saw, a mousse cup, or I saw a turtle cheesecake over on the other side. Can I get that? Certainly they can get that. But we do have a special menu that is strictly for the bistros. So it's sit down, you have a 3-page menu. You can have a lunch. We call it our everyday menu. We can serve into the evening, and you could have crepes You could have beef bourguignon. You could have a croque monsieur. You could have brie en crotte. You could have a chicken pot pie. There's various different things that we offer. Of course, the crepes, I think, is one of the number one, sellers, just because we are kind of a French-inspired place. And when I added that, I added it because we wanted to be able to do the liquor. So we do fabulous chocolate martinis.
Wow.
Our chocolate martinis, we do not use the typical things that people use, the Godiva or the liqueurs and things that are out there. We use real chocolate. I mean, it's melted and put into these martinis, and everybody says that they are the best chocolate martinis they've ever had. And it's like, oh yeah.
Wow.
Every time I have one again, I go, oh, this is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We came up with some good recipes here.
And tell me, so Le Chocolat du Bouchard, Bistro du Bouchard, but you also have special events. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those that you do?
Yeah, we do some fun things like Bridgerton, is very popular, and Downton Abbey teas, and Barbie parties. Just some fun theme things.
People can book special events because you've got an amazing room upstairs too.
Booked solid all the time.
For showers, rehearsal dinners, all sorts of events,
it's kind
right?
it's kind of a well-kept secret, except enough people know about it that last year I turned away 187 parties. We were so booked. It is a stunning room, unlike anything in DuPage County.
Yeah, so Kathy, this is a place that people need to visit. It is so unique. We can't thank you enough for all you've done for Naperville. Everybody needs to come to this beautiful spot, whether it's to get a piece of chocolate, a beautiful meal at the bistro, have a private event. Thank you.
Thank you
for all you do for Naperville.
Yeah, thank you.
After the break, explore the spookiest places in Naperville.
Stay tuned for more 630 Naperville.
We really see bread and butter dermatology like acne, rosacea, hair loss, warts, all the way to more complicated conditions like an autoimmune connective tissue disorder like lupus or dermatomyositis, or an autoimmune blistering condition. In addition, I do provide surgical services, and that encompasses surgical removal of atypical moles, something as benign as a cyst or a lipoma, all the way to skin cancer. And then we do offer cosmetic services. Every patient who comes to vascular dermatology really feels heard. They receive personalized care. They will never feel rushed. See your dermatologist regularly. Even something that can look very innocent to our eyes, such as a pink bump that is completely asymptomatic, can actually turn to be a deadly cancer. Amelanotic melanoma can present just like a pink bump. And I have seen many pink bumps even in young adults. If there is one thing that I want to emphasize, it is go and see your dermatologist regularly, once a year to start with, and then more frequently if necessary.
Hey everybody, Stephen Holt here from NBC5. What is a better way to start the morning than a fresh, hot cup of coffee? Well, NCTV 17's The Morning Show. We've got sizzling interviews. Also, we have a live band, and breakfast is included. It's the hottest ticket in town. I'll see you there.
Naperville is one of the most haunted cities in America, no doubt, in my mind.
Kevin France is a paranormal investigator who has traveled the country with others like him, searching for ghosts. After settling down in Naperville to raise a family, he discovered this town ranks high when it comes to paranormal activity.
Hundreds of accounts that people have shared with me, and that's a lot for one town, and those are just the ones I know about. But any investigations we've done here have yielded not just simple sort of mists and orbs and things like that. We get full body apparitions. We've got really active spirits here.
So it's only fitting that France would start leading the Naperville Ghost Tours, something he's now done every weekend for the past 13 years, combining ghost stories with history.
Makes a ghost story much more terrifying if you can back it up with facts and show you that the ghost that's haunting this place actually lived. Here's what he looked like when he was alive. Here's what he did. Here's the reason why he's haunting this spot.
So what are some haunted spots around town? Well, let's start with Central Park.
Oh yeah, it's haunted. In fact, in May, a woman who's been on my tour several times called me to tell me she had had an experience in this park, the spot right behind me.
She claims she and her husband were having a picnic in front of the playground when a man dressed as an old-time police officer approached them and said,
"What are you doing in this park?" We played along and said, "Well, we're just having a little picnic." He said, "Don't you know the park is a dangerous place?" She said he got halfway to the gazebo and vanished into thin air.
It's many other stories like this that France says make Naperville unique.
What other town has, its own grave robber whose bones are missing? What other town has a story about a bride who's been stood up at the altar and now haunts a church? Or a train crash that haunts the streets?
It was April 25th, 1946, when one of the worst train accidents to ever occur in U.S. history happened in Naperville, killing nearly 50 people on impact and more soon after.
People have told me who live here that they'll take pictures on Christmas morning and there's someone sitting on the couch who's not part of their family. They tell me they see people walking these streets that just vanish right into thin air.
As for other ghostly stories, well, I'll leave that up to France to tell you on his tour, something he loves doing, even if for the 500th time.
I do have a passion for not just the stories, but for the people on the tour. I want them to have the best tour they can, so everybody deserves to make it like I'm telling them for the first time.
France warns that the tour is targeted for mature audiences only. It lasts about an hour and a half, sometimes longer, and includes 8 different stops. At the end of it all, he hopes that whether you're a believer or a skeptic, that you realize how much more there is to this world than meets the eye.
Whether it leads you to investigate more of the kind of paranormal stuff we're talking about, or it leads you to go back to church, or it leads you to just believe in yourself and how special you are, and that you can be anything, and that you're valuable. That's what it means to me. That someone just realizes that it's all a lot bigger than they might think it is.
This year's theme is the Grave Robber Ghost Tour. It features a so-called true spine-chilling story of a Naperville man who in 1912 dug up his deceased wife at the Naperville Cemetery and brought her back home. Do you dare visit the place they currently haunt? For 630 Naperville, I'm Kevin Maychek.
Many cultures and faiths celebrate their children coming of age.
Learn more about one family's journey for their son's bar mitzvah at Congregation Beth Shalom.
Amen.
A bar mitzvah is a coming of age ritual in Judaism. So bar is typically for boys, bat is for girls, and b'nai is for the gender inclusive or multiple bar mitzvahs. Like, for example, if there are twins, it would be a b'nai mitzvah.
Literally children of the commandments. When a Jewish child reaches this age of adulthood, they take on certain responsibilities. And one of them is they're responsible for their own behavior, for their own actions, for following the commandments of Jewish tradition. When a kid is, say, 8 years old, and say they throw a baseball and break their neighbor's window, the parent has to pay for that. But once a child reaches age 13, the idea is that they have developed enough of a moral sense that they can tell right from wrong. And so that child at age 13 has to pay for the window themselves. They have to take responsibility.
It is something I did when I grew up, and it's just really special. You lead the service. It's about becoming an adult in the Jewish religion's eyes and in your community, and it's really special.
There's also certain privileges that Jewish adults get that Jewish children don't. One of them is to lead a community in worship and to chant from the Torah and to teach the community.
Cole is now going to begin leading us.
Shohen ad marom v'kadosh shemo. It was May 25th of this year, 2024. Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
There's a lot of preparation involved. Basically, a child starts working one-on-one with a teacher about a year in advance of the date.
It was hard. I studied like 20 to 30 minutes every day, some more, some less. And I had to go to 3 or 4 services every single month. And I had to meet with my bar mitzvah teacher, Bernie Newman, for 30 minutes every week.
I had a lot of fun working with Cole. I was his teacher one-on-one for an entire year. And Cole was a very inquisitive young man. He would ask lots of questions about the meaning of the different prayers that he was learning.
He's great. He helped me a lot.
The different students, the different children, they all have different abilities, and we don't ask that every student do exactly the same thing. We really customize it for each student. For Cole, he was one of those students who just wanted more and more and more, so as he would learn something, learn a prayer, learn a verse, he'd say, give me something else, give me the next thing I can do.
And Cole actually did a fair amount of the service. Like, he led a lot of the prayers in addition to reading from the Torah, reading the Haftorah portion, which are the traditional big moments, if you will. You know, those are special for that week's portion.
And we invite him now to deliver his Devar Torah, his words of Torah, the teaching that he has written based on his studies. Cole, take us away.
Shabbat Shalom.
So to see him standing there with such poise, it's amazing.
I was completely nervous. I knew I could do it because I was practicing even the simplest prayer, which was only 2 lines, and I had practiced it for like 11 months. I was still nervous, but that didn't stop me.
Becoming a bar or bat mitzvah is just a big part. It's a huge milestone, you know, in a Jewish person's life. In fact, so much so that even at CBS, if people choose to convert to Judaism or they never had a chance to do a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah growing up, they have the opportunity to do that as an adult.
It was a really fun process, and I just had a lot of fun working with everybody, and it felt great. Best day of my life.
After the break, explore another restaurant with Naper Bites.
Stay tuned for more 630 Naperville.
Hey everybody, Stephen Holt here from NBC5. What is a better way to start the morning than a fresh, hot cup of coffee? Well, NCTV 17's The Morning Show. We've got sizzling interviews. Also, we have a live band, and breakfast is included. It's the hottest ticket in town. I'll see you there.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
If you've ever been driving down Ogden Avenue and you smell the heavenly aroma in the air, that's wood smoked perfection waiting for you. And if you want to have a barbecue meal that'll make you question every meal you've ever had, this is Gemato's Wood Pit Barbecue.
Mario gave me a tour of the place, starting with the kitchen. And this is where I learned how to get the perfect level of sweet and spice in their homemade barbecue sauce. How they cook their ribs for 3 hours to reach the perfect level of tenderness. And how they go through nearly 400 pounds of meat per day. Incredible. Afterward, we went out back where he showed me the huge pile of apple and maple wood they chop every morning that makes their dishes deliciously smoky. And of course, I just had to get some chopping in.
I don't know if I'm as strong as Mario, but I'm gonna try and give my chance at chopping here. This is for all the ladies.
That's all you got. Make sure you get them the same. You got it, see?
There we go. See?
And after working up quite an appetite, I was super excited to try out their delicious dishes.
All right, we're at Gemato's Wood Pit Barbecue here in Naperville. I'm with the owner, Mario Soto. Mario and his brother Tom invited us in today. Thank you so much for having us, Mario.
Anytime. You've been more than welcome.
So you guys have been here for 28 years?
Yeah, because we were open 1996.
Okay. Well, every time I drive by and I get stuck at the stoplight, I can smell it. When my window's open, right? And I'm like, oh, I gotta go there. So now we're finally here. And I'm so excited. So what should we start with?
You know what? I mean, you can start with the brisket, or you can start with the beer ribs.
Yeah, let's do the brisket. This brisket is so tender. I'm about to ask it, who hurt you? Who hurt you? I mean, it's a perfect ratio of fat to meat. All right, salud.
Salud.
It's just like melts. I mean, that is good. All right, so I ordered the adult Brontosaurus ribs, but all they had were the baby Brontosaurus ribs. No, I'm just kidding. This is the beef ribs here at Gemato's, and look at these guys. I mean, that is a massive rib. It's a little heartier.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the flavor of the beef personally.
Yeah?
You know, like maybe better than the pork.
Yeah?
Mario, everything's good, man. Everything we've had has been amazing. Obviously, you guys have been successful for a long time. People love it for a reason, right?
People love for a reason, yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
No problem,
Appreciate it.
anytime. Thank you, okay?
My thanks to Mario, Tom, and everybody here at Gemato's Wood Pit Barbecue. Be sure to check out our next bite on Naper Bites.
Thanks for joining us here on NCTV 17. And now you know, from 630 Naperville.
I'm Nathan Ronchetti.
And I'm Paige Ronchetti. See you next time.